German Shepherd is brought into a hospital room to spend the final moments with a dying baby, but what the dog does next leaves everyone stunned. In a quiet ward, a devastated mother prepares to say goodbye to her only child. Doctors have exhausted every option. The machine's slow. Hope is fading. Then an elderly German Shepherd steps forward and refuses to leave the infant's side. At first, it looks like a simple act of loyalty, a gentle farewell. But within seconds, everything shifts. The dog begins scratching at the foreline, growling toward the wall, acting as if he senses something invisible to everyone else. Nurses panic. The mother begs them to pay attention. The hospital staff insists the dog must be removed immediately. What is the dog trying to communicate? Why is he reacting this way? And when the truth finally surfaces, will it come too late to save the baby? Sometimes miracles don't arrive wearing lab coats. Sometimes they walk in on four paws. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Harsh fluorescent lights flooded the Munich Children's Clinic, casting long shadows across Mara Keller's exhausted face as she sat beside her baby's crib. The steady beeping of medical monitors formed a cold, mechanical lullaby. Finn lay motionless, his tiny body wrapped in tubes and wires. "I'm here, sweetheart," Mara whispered. "Mama's right here." Nurse Lena gently touched her shoulder. "The doctor will be in shortly." When Dr. Herzog arrived, he pulled up a chair beside Mara. His expression was heavy. "Mrs. Keller," he said carefully, "we've followed every protocol. Finn's condition continues to decline. At this stage, all we can do is keep him comfortable." "No," Mara said instantly. "He's a fighter." Her thoughts turned to Kaiser, the calm, aging German Shepherd from the hospital's therapy dog program. Finn had responded to him in ways nothing else could. "Kaiser," she said suddenly, "please, can Kaiser come see him?"
Dr. Herzog hesitated.
"The program was discontinued due to budget cuts," he admitted. "But I'll speak with Dr. Schaefer." When Dr. Claudia Schaefer arrived, she stood at the foot of Finn's crib. "I've been informed of your request," she said coolly. "Please," Mara began, but Schaefer raised a hand. "We're preparing for a major donor event. Allowing an animal into this unit introduces unnecessary risk." Anger surged through Mara. "My child is dying," she thought, "and you're worried about donors." "We have strict safety policies," Schaefer replied flatly. "The answer is no." Later, Lena returned, her voice barely above a whisper. "I heard about Dr. Schaefer's decision. I'm so sorry. I just want him to feel something good," Mara said, her voice breaking. Lena hesitated, then leaned closer. "I still have Kaiser's handler's contact information. I can't officially give it to you, but if I happen to leave my phone unlocked in the break room." Hope flickered in Mara's chest. "Thank you," she whispered. "I'm going on break now. I'll be back in 15 minutes. Mara looked down at Finn. Exhaustion, grief, and rage hardened into resolve. "I promise you," she murmured, "you'll see Kaiser again." For her son, she would break any rule. The service entrance door creaked softly as Mara held it open.
Markus Feld guided Kaiser inside.
The dog's nails clicked quietly against the linoleum floor. "Remember," Mara whispered, "we have to stay silent." Her hands trembled. 2032. Exactly on schedule. They reached the service elevator without incident. On the 4th floor, Lena waited near a supply closet. "Hurry," she whispered. "Security just finished their rounds. We've got a few minutes." They navigated the maze of corridors to the neonatal intensive care unit. Finn's room was the third on the left. "Hey, my sweet boy," Mara whispered. "Look who's here." Marcus stepped forward with Kaiser, but something immediately changed. Instead of his usual calm demeanor, Kaiser's ears snapped upright. His nose twitched. A low whine escaped his throat. "What's wrong?" Mara asked, fear creeping into her voice. Kaiser began pacing beside Finn's crib. He scratched at the foreline. Then he froze, staring intensely at the wall near the medical storage area. I've never seen him behave like this during a therapy visit, Marcus said tensely. Kaiser moved toward the formula cart, his whining growing more urgent. He sniffed along the edges, the feeding bags, the tubing. Does he know? Mara whispered. Does he sense that Finn is dying? Marcus shook his head.
No.
This isn't grief behavior. This is how he acts during detection work. Detection? Lena asked. Before Marcus could explain, the door slammed open. Dr. Schaefer stood in the doorway, her face twisted with fury. What is the meaning of this? A dog in my sterile unit. He's a certified therapy dog, Mara said, stepping forward. He's here to comfort my son. Comfort? Schaefer laughed coldly. Your son needs medical care, not an emotional support animal contaminating the environment. Kaiser's whining grew louder. He scratched at the base of the formula cart again. Remove that animal immediately, Schaefer ordered, reaching for her phone. I'm calling security. No, Mara said quietly but firmly. My son is dying. The least you can do is allow him this small comfort. This isn't about comfort, Schaefer snapped. It's about maintaining proper protocol. Do you have any idea what our donors would say if they knew animals were roaming the NICU? Is that all you care about? Mara cried. Your donors? What about the children you're supposed to protect? Kaiser circled back to the four-line, then to the formula cart again, his movements frantic. Doctor, Marcus tried to interject. I believe something is. I don't care what you believe. Schaefer cut him off. Remove the dog now, or I'll have all of you escorted out and charged with trespassing. But Mara had reached her limit. Months of fear and desperation crystallized into raw maternal courage. No, she said loudly. Kaiser stays. My son's comfort matters more than your obsession with appearances. How dare you, Schaefer began. Kaiser's sharp bark sliced through the room. The German shepherd stood rigid, eyes locked on the formula cart. His posture screamed warning. Marcus went pale. He had seen this behavior hundreds of times. Something's wrong, he said firmly. Kaiser isn't grieving. He's alerting us. This is how he behaves when he detects danger. Silence fell, broken only by the monitors and Kaiser's urgent whine. Schaefer stood trembling with rage, her phone halfway to her ear, until Kaiser barked again. The sound echoed off the sterile walls. The message was unmistakable. Something was very wrong. The next 48 hours revealed everything. Kaiser's records confirmed he was trained in biological detection. Finn's blood results didn't match his diagnosis. The cooling system in the unit had been malfunctioning for months. The electrical panel had been flagged as a fire hazard 3 times. Every report had been marked resolved by Dr. Schaefer, without repairs. Dr. Schaefer was suspended. Finn began to recover. 6 weeks later, the oxygen tubes were gone. Healthy color replaced the pallor in Finn's cheeks. Kaiser lay beside the crib as Finn's tiny fingers curled into his fur. Thank you, Kaiser, Mara whispered. Thank both of them, Marcus corrected gently. Dr. Herzog entered the room. Mrs. Keller, we need voices like yours on the hospital's family advisory board. Would you consider joining us? I'd be honored. Mara nodded through tears. And Kaiser will always be welcome here. Kaiser's story had already begun changing how hospitals viewed therapy animals. Mara watched her son breathe, truly breathe. He's going to be okay, Marcus said softly. That's what matters now. It wasn't a perfect victory, but it was a beginning.